Wow, that got really trebly at the end. I'm sorry for the ear rape. That song was louder than I thought it was going to be. Although, I personally don't have a problem with that. Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be. And this is the Doja Venice art stream. I am the little guy doing Comicsgate stuff, but I don't care. Size doesn't matter. As we all know. It's what you can offer. So, what you guys just heard, in case you don't know, is the Cowboy Bebop remix, Tank. It's by Ben Briggs. So just look up Cowboy Bebop remix, Tank, with an exclamation mark at the end, by Ben Briggs. That's Briggs, B-R-I-G-G-S. Hey Zaranx, hey Davey, hey Ben Sweetser. Wisecrack just uploaded the philosophy of Cowboy Bebop. Good to know. So, I'm going to be working more on my Bombshell cover today. I think that what I'm going to hope to accomplish is moving some things in the background around a little bit, applying some zipatone effects, and then color. If I can do all those things, then I will be quite happy with where I am. The strange ringing in your ears. Sorry about that. Also, what I'm listening to in the background, in case you're wondering, is just another music stream. This is City Pop Radio. I kind of like switch between the city pop radio, the lo-fi, then the synth wave, the vapor wave, the night drive, the cinematic stuff. I'm chiptune. I just kind of like bounce around. So right now, I guess I just want to hear this. All right. Life is pretty good. Thanks for asking. What's this? Aha! That's what I want. So these and these. Yes? Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm merging the layers of background. So now the panel lines are on the same layer as the ink. Well, it's not even inks. They're really like refined pencils. But I kind of have a preference for refined pencils sometimes. I mean, it's all digital anyway, right? So. Okay, so now I think I'm going to do this. I'm gonna leave Bombshell there, even though I'm working behind her. And I'm gonna try to do some moving of things around. Moving things around. So we're gonna grab this. Move it there. Excuse me. Sorry about that. That was unexpected. This may result in me having to do a little bit more drawing after I'm done moving things around. There. Okay. I'm sorry about that. I normally am very thoughtful about not sneezing on the stream if I can help it. I think that is going to be okay where it is, actually. So I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to try and move this diver, though. Oops, back up a little bit. Okay. I know you can't see all of of it very well, but I think this will give me a better better angle. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to free transform it a bit. Just waiting for this thing to catch up. So that I can do a little bit more distortion, which I'm okay with as well. Just a little bit. There we go. If you do your frames in layers, coloring would go a lot easier. No, they are in layers. This song... Oh, I don't know what you guys are talking about. So what's new, people? What are you guys talking about right now? What's the thing everyone's got on their mind? Hmm? What software are you using, Brian? I'm using Clip Studio Paint Pro, which used to be called Manga Studio. I like it. I avoided Manga Studio for a while because based on the title of the name of the software, I thought it was like one of those things, you know, like for novices, for amateurs, like learn how to draw anime Moo style, and then it has like, you know, shit to color in and the trace over. But no, it's actually got a lot of good tools. So Clip Studio is a good program. In many ways, I think it's far better than Photoshop for just doing art. So Geek Variety says, if you kill civilians in Red Dead 2, their families will hunt you down. Oh, that's amazing. That is cool. That is frontier justice. What's happening here? Can you guys not hear me? I can, or is Michael Keller making jokes? Is my volume alright? Stay with Corel Photo Paint. Corel Painter is, I've used that. I don't have it on this machine. I have Clip Studio and I have Paint Tool Sci. Paint Tool Sci is fantastic though. I love Paint Tool Sci. For something that doesn't have a lot of tools, it is very good. Okay, my volume is fine. Alright. A quiet, now it's okay. Alright. It might have been your ears. Control-Shift-D. T. There we go. Control-Shift-T. Going to... What the fuck is this music? Alright, that's good. Deselect. Painter sucks. Gmail just told you that I was going to be on today? Ah, yes. The ever-reliable Gmail. And Google. Thanks, Google. Oh, wait. I need to... Alright, perfect. And we'll, Alright, looks good. Let's see what you guys are saying. Bowsette. I saw that going around. Mr. Prickly, love your drawing style, by the way. Thank you. Do a stream with the Clownfish folks. I don't know who the Clownfish folks are. It's very slick. Well, thank you. I'm inspired by, I get inspiration from lots of places. DreamWorks, Disney to a degree, Bruce Timm. I also have people that I absolutely love from within comics. I'm a big fan of John Byrne. I'm a big fan of Arthur Adams. I'm a big fan of, Walt Simonson. Those are like three, and I became, because I had like kind of grow into it, but I became a big fan of Jack Kirby's as well. And by extension, that also, you know, I'm also a fan of like Jason Scott Campbell, Frank Cho. I'm not like super fans of theirs, but I like their work. But like the guys who I look at, and I'm like, my God, I love their art. It's like the people I mentioned, you know, Arthur Adams, Jack Kirby, Bruce Timm, Walt Simonson, also some other guys. There was one on the tip of my tongue just now, but I know I'm a big fan of theirs. Well, I also really like Frank Frazetta. I like Glenn Keane. Yeah, Arthur Adams is amazing. And he's actually the inspiration that Jason Scott Campbell was taking. There's like an original... When Jason Scott Campbell first started doing comics, he did... I remember he did a piece for the swimsuit issue back in the... like the 90s. And it was awful. It was awful. But it was him. And it was just like... It was all women in bikinis, but it was a bad drawing. You know, if you saw that drawing next to like the stuff that he does now, you wouldn't think it was the same person, but it was. Jim Steranko's good too, yeah. I also really like Neil Adams. I have lots of people that I like, you know, that I admire. So, but anyway, so I think I've rearranged the panel so that you still get an idea of what is generally going on, and things aren't too badly covered up. They're going to be to some degree. I know some people might say, well, why do you even bother to draw the swimming bombshell if you're going to cover it up? I don't have a problem doing that. Fester Adams. He's a good man. It's with 2 D's though, Michael Keller. It's Adams with 2 D's. Don't get it wrong. Okay, so we're gonna take this layer and I'm gonna fill it with a very light gray, almost like off white color. Very light though, very light. There you go. Fill that. Okay, and then I'm gonna take the this selection tool, and I'm gonna color in some of these areas here. So I'll start with this panel up in the corner. Okay, and I'll make a layer on top, underneath that. Jeff Scott Campbell. Oh, I keep saying Jason Scott Campbell. I don't know why I do that. All right, and go back to the selection tool. So I wanted to have like an out loud think about Sargon's Phase 2 video. Because I know where he's coming from, I think. And I have felt this for a while, right? The burnout. You know? But it's also, you know, you start like, if you've been doing this a while, and he's been doing it a while, and I've been doing it a while, you can, forget, you can forget, like, why, I don't know, like, you can, like, forget your, like, what it is you're doing and why, you know? You can lose sight of it. You can see enemies where none exist. It can be very difficult to get out of the polemics. Felt the burnout, right? Yeah. It's a real thing, right? Obviously. And that's what I think he's going through. And I think that's absolutely, you know, fair and real. And I think that what happens is, you know, he wants to, like, focus on doing content that he enjoys. I don't like that color. Let's do green. He wants to focus on content that he enjoys. If you had the borders as separate layers, you wouldn't have to do all the masking. Well, I put each one of these on its own layer, but I'm still selecting it out. And I hear you. As I was saying, dealing with all the GG stuff, yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare. It can be. It can be. I still feel very strongly about what I'm doing at HBR, and I don't want to stop, right? But shit, I don't know if this is. Well, let's just do it this way. Oh yeah, that was good. I still feel really strongly about it. But, yeah, I mean, it can certainly, like, oops. It can certainly, like, wear you out. Let's do this. And I think that that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this. It's actually, no, I know it's the reason I'm doing this. You know? I know that, like, while I really do still care very much about, you know, men's issues and the culture war and I have a very large interest in these conversations. I think that if you don't unplug, you know, you're just gonna, you know, just gonna go out like a candle. And I think that's the reason why I want to do this comic, and it's actually the reason why I want to make sure that my comic is not overtly political, if I can help it. You know, I mean, I'm genuinely not interested in that. I think that I honestly believe that the discussion around culture is more important than the discussion around politics. I think that the politics stuff is actually it's like what Paul Joseph Watson said, you know, and lots of people have said, you know, politics is downstream from culture, and I agree with that. I think that the way people, you know, interact with their regular world, that is how they kind of like choose their politics. It is where we get our values from, and I think that where we get our values from now, in terms of how we're talking about it, we're framing it in we're framing it as a political issue, but they're not. They're actually just like they're larger. They're far more complex. They're far more how do I put this? They're far more important than politics. You know, it's a lot bigger. Orange will be perfect for that. Let's do like right about here. Okay. So I get it. You know, I get it. I know what he's going through. It's just that it's the same thing. Okay, I think I'm gonna change this background color to something lighter and grayer. So let's do. No, lighter still. Cool art and an interesting story sells a comic more than a heavy-handed narrative. Absolutely. And then the question is, you know, because social justice warriors will tell you what is, how are you defining an engaging story? Because I mean, the art stuff, I think that a lot of people make this argument. It's subjective, you know, like, so the art being cool is subjective. I think that there is, to some degree, an objective way to measure good art. There are people who are intending to do things, and then there are people who don't know how. And that's the main difference. The hysteria around Donald Trump is a good example. Absolutely. Some people don't understand how being in the public eye is like being a fire jumper. A lot of times when people see you as the face of an event or whatever, it's a lot of work, for sure. HBR is trying to be a jack of trade. That's why they're a master of none. I'm doing this on my channel, so this isn't HBR. Honey badgers are somewhat less in the mainstream light, and they advocate for a very specific political goals. It's a bit more tangible of a battle. Oh, I agree. And you know what? It's working. I would tell you it's working. At MythCon, I don't know if any of you guys here were there, but some men's rights talking points came up, both on Karen's panel as well as Sargon's panel. And there was not a lot of pushback. People were, you know, Karen Garst was very receptive of the stuff that Karen brought up. She did not push back. She didn't say, but, you know, my male privilege. She didn't do any of that. She listened and she agreed. So I think that the men's rights issue discussion is actually beginning to push back. It is becoming a more acceptable thing to talk about. Another example is Owen Benjamin. Now I know that like he was on the show, and I was expecting him to kind of like maybe look at it or comment on it in the same way that somebody like Steven Crowder has, where he's basically said, you know, MRAs just need to like, you know, stop complaining about women and be a good man, and they'll attract a good woman or something. Which is like, it doesn't even, that argument is so, it's not even wrong. It makes so little sense because he thinks he's working from this idea that MRAs are like MGTOW and they're just like angry men that aren't finding women. And even when you apply that same argument to MGTOW, it doesn't make sense either, because it's not the men that are the problem. It's not even really the women that are the problem. It's the system that's the problem, right? Boda says, what did Karen bring up? So the question was, do women have gender equality in the U.S.? And Karen Garth said she was working from the argument that they don't. And of course she was going with the feminist stuff. And Karen said that they don't either, but she was working from the opposite direction. She said because men don't have equality. They don't have the right to bodily autonomy. They don't have the right to, you know, not be circumcised. And when I say bodily autonomy, I mean that they have to sign up for the draft, whereas women don't have to sign up for the draft, right? They don't. They get screwed over in that there are discussions that are treated as though they are women's problems, that are either not gendered problems at all, or they are more so. It's arguable that they are more so to be men's problems. Self-sealing Stembolt asks, "Is Crowder is still saying that? Can you quote it?" If you watch the last weekly show he did, and just go to the end where he does his little final thoughts thing, he mentions it there. And yes, he's a tradcon, and so he has like a way of doing things. And I believe the tradcons have it wrong. They have it just as wrong as the feminists, except the tradcons don't hate men. They just think that men should be, they should go back and be that utility, right? Whereas feminists want men to be a utility and they hate them at the same time. So, but anyway, what was I saying? So yeah, a lot of that came up, and the thing is, Karen Garth couldn't disagree. She agreed with it. She said there are places where men obviously are disenfranchised. Now, of course, it wasn't a panel discussion about feminism itself, so we weren't able to really get into it. It was about women specifically, so Karen stayed on topic, right? But we didn't. If we did this again, we could talk about. If we did this again, theoretically, we could talk about feminism itself. I think that would be a much better conversation. So, PJ Media, yeah, there is, there's definitely, like I said, the tradcons got it wrong. We've already discussed that. So, suit yourself. Alright, so I'm going to, let me think here. How am I going to do this? Alright, I'm going to try and drop in some, I'm going to try and drop in some, oops, that's wrong. Gonna try and drop in some zipatone, screen tone effects. See if I can get that to work, because I'm not entirely sure. I haven't done this in a while, and sometimes I forget how to do it. Mono drawing paper. Let's see. I'm trying to find like a. It doesn't have to be anything involved as far as patterns go, but. The background music sounds a lot like old tune soundtracks. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty good. Let me zoom in here. So you guys can see that. It might be too dark, though. Let's try this other one. Oh, that's better, I think. Anyway, that's how I feel men's rights is more effective. They are smaller, but planted lots of seeds for a long time from the fringes with a specific policy in mind. It is obviously effective. I mean, it's very much effective. I didn't mean to say obviously. It is effective because you can see that granted, you know, they're bigger YouTubers. They've been, you know, they have much larger audiences, and even people on the right have been doing this too. They are using men's rights activist arguments against feminism and for men, acknowledging the existence of men's issues. And yeah, it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of sucks when you hear something that you've been talking about for a while and it's being brought up on a channel that's like way bigger than yours. But you know what, if the goal is at the end of the day to, like, you know, get these problems addressed, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. So I didn't see that video of Karen versus whatever her name is. What's the title of the video? It's not a video. It was at MythCon over the weekend. I assume, because they taped everything, I assume that video will be going up somewhere at some point. Maybe if MythCon has a YouTube channel, you can try that. Alright. Try to make the background into a silver. May bring the colors out better. I don't know what you mean. Like the white bars? Like the gutters? MRM is a quasi-subterranean network feeding all the others in parallel ways. It's painful to say, but that's where we are. Yeah, it's true though. But there's still stuff that we're saying that hasn't been quite picked up yet. You know, like for example, people talk about SJWs as though they're sort of like spokes on a wheel, and the center of the wheel is Marxism, and we don't think it is. Marxism is what is, it might be the ultimate goal, but it's not actually how all these things are accomplished. It's feminism that is the most successful part, and it's also in the center. For example, if you go to the Black Lives Matter website, I've said this before, it's a feminist website. Black Lives Matter is not about black people at all, right? It's about feminism. So, if that's the case, yeah, the white bars, okay. I can't make them metallic, but I will change the color to something lighter and warmer, or cooler rather. Yeah, the lips are starting to get lost a bit. I agree. The MRM needs to tackle things one at a time. The media is attacking Sargon. The Times is calling him a racist, sexist Nazi. They have been for years. For years. Are they doing it now that he's quit? So has there been any fallout since Sargon put out that video saying he's not going to be making content the way he used to? And I'm inclined to agree. that it might be a good idea to focus on the things that you love. Not to quote Rose Tico. I'm kidding. But yeah, maybe. Oh, let me see. Can I like mask this thing? I see something here. What layer am I working in? Pencil. Oh yeah, there we go. So I can remove some of this stuff if I wanted to. This will like allow me to do a little bit more. Let's see. Well, like always, Mr. Medicare is using it for 5 hours of content. I don't know what you mean. Is he doing a stream? So, lower the gamma on your line work to get rid of the unwanted brush marks. Okay. Mr. Metaturd is a child-minded coward. Someone's calling. I hear the vibe alarm. Yeah, I missed a call. I'll look at it later. Alright, let's go to another layer. This is fun, actually. I actually have done this with real screen, like Zipatone before, but it's been a long time. And I forgot how much I kind of like playing with it. Fuck this song though. Japanese people are amazing. Don't ever change Japan. Alright. Oh, 2 dots in her gab? Wait, where are the oh, yeah. That's not... What is that? Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. That's what it is. There you go. Bubble above her head. Oh, this one? I already did it. Oh, wait, is there another? Yeah, there's another one. Hold on. I gotta move to the right layer. Very important. Oh, that wasn't a bubble. That was my fucking cursor. Alright. Is Bombshell PG or PG-13? I would say, like, I like PG-13, I think that's what I'm gonna go with. No nudity, but, you know, it'll get suggestive. I'm not afraid of that. I'm not even afraid of nudity, really, but... I just don't want to, like, use that as a gimmick to sell the book, really. Waiting for not safe for work. Yeah. TV 14. I guess PG-13 seems reasonable. Yeah, I mean, I want to be able to attract a teen audience. Most importantly, I think, and you know, like, have fun with them. I think that that's what these kids want. You know, they just want to have fun with their books. They don't want to be preached at. Especially if they're projecting, you know, accurately, like, what the next generation is going to be like in terms of their politics and stuff. I think it's really important to, you know, respond to the market. So, okay, all that's left, I think, is Samurai Guy. Oh, you know what I'll do? Maybe this will look cool. You know. Yeah, like. There we go. Let's see. We need more Western TV 14 comics and animated shows. Yes. And I designed Bombshell solely so that she wouldn't be difficult to translate to animation if that ever happened. That's why I have, like, I can do a more realistic style, but I think it's too time consuming for one, and also you run into problems translating, you know. So I want to be able to have something that you could theoretically, you know, animate. I like thinking about that. I don't know if it's gonna go there, but I think it's good to think about that. or miraculously. I have my doubts that it would go there, but you know, it's like really unlikely, but fuck it. Plan for the worst, hope for the best. All right, let's see how this looks. Okay, so we have our backgrounds colored, a little bit of zipatone. Rob Liefeld succeeded, so literally anything is possible. Why the dot shadowing? Well, I wanted to like give it that feel like it is a comic book, you know. It's like I'm communicating. It's gonna have like a kind of a pop art style, you know, and that's kind of like how I would, you know, it's gonna be a bit of a mixture, I suppose. It's gonna be some pin-up stuff, some Art Deco stuff, and some pop art stuff. Wow, Allison's behind it, working through Badger Pod mails. I don't know what that. I don't know. So, what was I gonna say? What do you guys know about? Let me ask you guys this. While I'm trying to decide what to do next, what do you guys know about this deal with Linux? Because I'm not a really like tech savvy person, and I hear that there's like this thing going on with Linux, and I don't know the whole story, but I'm supposed to talk about it on the show today. So what do you guys know about the Linux story? Do you know about this? It's like, let me see if I can look at it here. Linux developers threatened to pull the kill switch in response to COC controversy. Do you guys know anything about this? Codes of conduct. Okay, so that's what the COC stands for. SJW folks have infiltrated the GitHub community and are pushing their agenda into programming spaces. Oh, imagine my shock. Visualize my surprise. Envision my amazement. I did not see that coming. Now they dump kernel developers for being rude and harassing and all the SJW shit. God, I'm so like I don't think I'm gonna do this story justice because I just don't know the technical side of it. So I guess if it's just another SJW invasion gone horribly right for them, there's enough there to speak on. Now developers pulling the plug on Linux by rescinding their code from the kernel, affecting all Androids, 99% of internet servers, and more. Holy shit. That's like the whole internet, almost. Is it really that bad? SJWs are fucking cancer. I mean, what the fuck exactly is going on? My friend refused. No, that's a different thing. Quartering and Tim Pool covered a little bit of this. Jeremy's coverage is a little bit more detailed. Ask Computing Forever. You know, Dave is so busy right now, and he's another one that's kind of like trying to unplug. Yes, it really is that bad because they are already in Seattle, and Cupertino, Apple, now they got Linux. It is worse than bad. Yeah. Well, of course, because, I mean, like, this makes sense, you know? Like, I was talking about, this is the same with Hollywood, although it's like a lot less severe with Hollywood. Oh yeah, she's gonna have shiny boobs in just a moment. Hold on a second. It's a lot worse with it's a lot worse than Hollywood, but it's coming from the same place. If these people are essentially in Silicon Valley are all very, you know, highly educated, then that means that they went to college. If they went to college, that means that they've been indoctrinated. So this is what's going to happen. This is why, you know, you can't call it a, I guess to call it a conspiracy would technically be incorrect, because the people that are acting this out are not colluding in a way that sort of like exposes their nefariousness, like that they know that what they're doing is bad, but you're basically just educating them and they're just acting out what they think is right. And that is actually how it works, right? Like, this is the reason why, you know, people who say, oh, feminists can't get real jobs, they end up becoming professors or they end up working in Starbucks, is like a very dismissive way to underestimate them. Because if they're educating other people, and some of those, they don't have to become full-blown Lori Pennies, they just have to go out and get a job. They're going to carry those beliefs with them to their job, and they're going to utilize it because they want to do good in the world, right? People don't just, it's like what Jordan Peterson said, people don't just want to go and make a paycheck and come home and live their life. There are a lot of people that want to leave a mark. They want to make a difference. And if you tell them that there's a whole bunch of problems in the world and that they are the only chance that the world has and they have to make a difference, then they're actually more encouraged to act in the world, and they're going to bring their ideology with them. It's very, very effective. So yeah, of course, this is going to happen. This is going to happen in every industry that people go and get a college degree for. You're going to see it. Like, how many social justice warriors are infiltrating construction, or the Department of Sanitation, or I don't know, fucking dog catchers, like jobs that require a training you can just get at like a trade school, or if you go to college for it, it has a very specific focus and it does not include, you know, much in the way of humanities and stuff. You know? Motivated by fear, also motivated by ego and a desire to be the person that changes the world. That's a big one too, to me. You know? Just looking something up. Hold on, guys. Alright. Not a whole lot of SJWs in factory labor. Yeah, but like the universities are SJW factories. They make them. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I was trying to get at, you know? It's like, how do you produce SJWs? Well, you just keep on, you know, you just teach them your drivel, and you're gonna get you know, you're gonna get fucking sorry, hold on. I'm just keep teaching them your drivel, and you're gonna get professional activists, right? And you're gonna get Google and they're what was it? What's they're saying don't be evil? Like why would you have that if you're just a tech company? What does that have to do with being a tech company? Not a lot, right? So oh shit. Lori just needs the Christian Grey treatment and she'll snap out of her funk. Now that's an even scarier image. Oops. Google changed that earlier this year. It's no longer "Don't be evil." What do they change it to? Don't be right wing. Don't be moderate. That's one of the things that I consider myself to be a moderate in terms of my politics. But I mean, even then, I'm like, sometimes I don't understand what it even means to be like a left wing or right wing, especially right wing. I think that that's like a really ill-applied term, and I think it's by design. They just erased it, so they just don't say it anymore. The concept of evil isn't accepted by most postmodernists anyway. Yeah, of course not. It's hard. They left the "Don't be evil" slogan because it's half their reason for being. Curious about what feminist porn entails? Don't go down that hole. You'll never come back. You will never come back. Left-wing and right-wing are just caricatures nowadays, meant to be shut down words in a conversation more than actually portraying anyone's actual opinions. Yeah, I try, you know, like the way it's often used is exactly that. They're just pejoratives now. They're just ways of, so I'd rather focus on like, okay, what do you believe in? Let's like talk about the issues, you know. What do you want? Do you want my money? Okay then, I don't want you to want my money. I don't want my money taken away from me. How about that? You know? Do you think that because of this other person's beliefs that they are terrible people? Because I don't know, because whatever, because they either, you know, think that, you know, there are people who are underserved and need help, need a leg up, or because they feel like people could, like, you know, should be more focused on helping themselves up, you know, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, whatever. I don't think there's, like, much wrong with those positions. And I think that they are often just, like, taken to an extreme by people who want to mischaracterize. So. But yeah, we should help people in trouble. What are Bombshell's powers? Well, Everett. I don't want to spoil it too much, but I will give you, because the people in here know. So welcome to the stream if you've never been here before. Let me go ahead and look at how that looks so far. Okay, so Bombshell's powers. She has a very high density by default. That makes her weigh a lot more than she looks like she does. And this high density makes her extremely durable as well as strong. But there's more. Her molecules are highly unstable, and she has the ability to make herself explode. But she has to be very careful. So basically it's like, if you were... I like this idea because it's a superhero that can cause a lot of collateral damage and hurt people. And has to be very careful. And I know that people could say Superman's like that too, but they kind of made him to where, you know, he can like very, very carefully utilize his powers so he doesn't do that, although it's still fun that he can. What are Bombshell's preferred pronouns? She, her is fine. Dame, broad, bird, you know, skirt. Those are all fine. She's gonna have plot armor thick as fuck. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that. I hate that shit. I hate that shit. Okay, so let's see. I might come back and do more to the black part, but I'm just leaving it alone for now. It all comes down to like how I'm feeling about it. Okay, so let's go to the skin. This is the hair, as well as the gloves. Okay, I'm gonna save here. It's 106. So let's save what I got so far. I will make some changes. Bombshell in this picture, she's like in her late 20s, she's a hero in her mid to late 20s. I won't give anything else away. So far, based on what you've seen, do you guys have an interest in this comic book? Would you read it? I know that some of you might not even be into comics and you're just on here to support me, and I really appreciate it. The camel toe? That could be a superpower. Does she age slow? I won't tell you that. How about that? Although it should be obvious. Is she a virgin? That's I won't be giving that away just yet. Is she a virgin? She can't fly. No, she can't fly. No. No, I wanna, like, I know that I like the way the Marvel universe built its characters, because in the DC universe they almost made everyone fly except for like the Flash, and one could say Batman doesn't fly, but he basically does, because he can like swing to anything. So, but I don't want to do that. I want to be selective, you know. Carlos says he wants to read it. There won't be any porn in it. That'll have to be fan art. By the way, well, not yet, but like maybe after I'm done with the cover and I've started doing the pages, I'll do streams with other folks and we'll do like fan art of each other's characters and stuff. Because I wouldn't mind, you know, drawing other people's characters and seeing how they draw mine. I already showed you some fan art that I've gotten of Bombshell, right? Here, I'll show you. One person made fan art of Bombshell, and I was like very pleased. I thought it was super cool. Let me see if I can find it. Where did I put it? Maybe it's on the desktop. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah. This is some fan art that an artist made for me. I don't know. This is that person's character. I can't remember the name of their character. but they're also doing a comic book. Let me see if I can like find it, because I want to honor that. Oh, Miss Affinity is her name. So, yeah, this is some fan art I got. Bombshell looks really cute here. I dig it quite a bit. And I thought I would show you guys. So, I only read comics with virgin main characters. Okay. The Prime 7 are Greek gods. What's the Prime 7? Could she make big jumps by exploding the bottom of her feet like a rocket jump? Oh. You basically spoiled... You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say yes. You basically spoiled that. Yes, I was going to have her do that. I was going to have her use her explosion powers in really creative ways. Like jumping long distances. And other things. But think of it like this. If you can explode any... Okay, so at first, she can only explode her whole body, and that was very destructive. But over time, she learns how to use it to a degree that she can explode any part of her body. The less of her body she uses, the smaller the explosion, and she can also control the direction. So she wanted to, like, you know, you can do some creative and fun stuff with that, so. Would you autograph mine? Sure. Always do backups on 2 media. Would be... too bad losing your work to a failing hard disk. Trust me on that. Oh, okay. That's a good idea. I think she looks better with the brighter red to her lips. Like not the red that she has now, but... Each superhero power is also their weakness. Yeah, I like that, right? It comes at a cost, or it comes with some kind of complication. I like that stuff. And, you know, for straight up cape comics anyway, I find that more interesting. And plus the fact that it's a female, again, without, you know, trying to make it political, because I'm not, but I think that the idea that it's a female that has to use her powers responsibly, I think can make it even more fun. So, when do you think Bombshell will be out? Do you have an estimated release date? Change the gloves to what? Bruce Banner can turn to Hulk, but he can't control himself. Yeah, that's right. When Bombshell, so I have the script for the first issue, mostly. I'm going to be doing the first 5 pages as soon as this cover is finished. And I'm going to use that to pitch the Indiegogo. So I guess it depends. It's going to be difficult because I'm doing Honey Badger Radio still while I'm doing this. Which is why I need to like take off here because I got to prepare for the show today. I'm hoping that I can like do Bombshell by 2019. That's what I'm shooting for, but I don't know yet. The red now she has now is good. On a previous stream it was much darker. Yeah, I like this red. Yeah, thank you. I don't know. I like the black and yellow. If I change the gloves, I gotta change the boots and the emblem. Yeah, that was a good idea, the Iron Man thing. Originally. I mean, they usually move away. Blonde on blonde is disturbing for me. Well, what I'm gonna do is I'll change her hair color so it's a different shade of yellow, but it's still gonna be blonde. So, and also I'm not done. The gloves are gonna be like a shiny material. Black and gold is glamorous, absolutely. Brian won't show you the timer. So, she's the girl in gold boots. That's right. Just a slightly yellowish yellow. Yeah. So, anyway, I'm gonna go because I gotta get going, guys. But thanks for coming on the stream today. I hope you like what I have so far. Leave me a... No, she is gonna be blonde, not dirty blonde. Leave me a comment And be sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Hit the bell for notifications. I'll be doing a stream whenever I can. I try to do one every day at noon, even if I have to do other stuff with Honey Badger Radio. And I hope that I see you guys very soon. And I think that these are a lot of fun, and I really enjoy doing them. So if you want to know more about the Linux thing, ask Allison for my mail address and ask for Skype. Okay. Okay, I'll do that. Okay, guys. Talk to you guys later. Have a good one.